Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight. I'm Tracy Shilshi, and in the next 30 minutes I'll be getting you the day's top stories, what's been developing through the day. One big news, of course, coming in from the Election Commission, giving Akhilesh Yadav the cycle symbol of the party. We'll get you more details of that in a bit, but first, the headlines. The Samajwadi Party tussle ends. Election Commission finds in favour of Akhilesh Yadav's faction, says it is entitled to the party's bicycle symbol and the party name. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi addresses party workers in Uttarakhand, criticises Prime Minister Narendra Modi for demonetization decision, accuses the government also of hampering RBI's autonomy. This on a day when Navjot Singh Sidhu joins the Congress, calls it a ghar wapsi of sorts after describing himself as a born congressman, targets the Badal government for the drug menace in Punjab. And a day after China tells US that one China policy is non-negotiable, it claims any attempts to reconsider policy principles could harm bilateral ties. First, our top story, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav today got the Samajwadi Party symbol and the name of the party. The Election Commission order conveying the decision said that the Akhilesh faction was entitled to use the party name and the reserved bicycle symbol. The verdict comes a day before filing of nominations start for the 7-phase assembly elections beginning on the 11th of February. The Election Commission accepted the claims of the Akhilesh camp that 205 of the 228 party MLAs supported him. The Chief Minister was in fact also backed by 56 of the 68 members of the Legislative Council and 15 of the 24 MPs. He also submitted proof of a majority of National Executive members and National Convention delegates backing him. The poll panel said that it found the Akhilesh camp eligible after applying the test of majority support approved by the Supreme Court.
पार्टी में स्प्लिट जरूर हुई, लेकिन पार्टी एक तरफ थी और इसलिए मैं आपके माध्यम से इलेक्शन कमीशन को भी धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा। 2-1 दिन के अंदर प्रत्याशियों की सूची पहले 2 फेज की तो जारी हो ही जाएगी, क्योंकि अभी तो हम लोगों को यही निश्चय नहीं था कि क्या होगा।
ये सिर्फ सिंबल की नहीं, समाजवादी पार्टी की 2017 में चुनाव में जीत की सुनिश्चितता है। आप मान लीजिए आज ही जीत हो गई और हम लोग जैसा कि पहले तय किया गया था कि नेताजी के संरक्षण में और माननीय अखिलेश यादव जी के हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी के नेतृत्व में भारी बहुमत से चुनाव जीत के आएंगे।
Earlier, in another twist to the Samajwadi Party family drama, party patriarch Mulayam Singh Yadav on Monday announced that he was willing to go against his son and current UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav if the situation so demands. Addressing party workers at the SP headquarters, Mulayam accused Akhilesh of having a negative approach towards Muslims and said he will fight against his son if he does not heed his advice. The former UP CM also blamed Ram Gopal Yadav for the apparent split in the party and attacked him for misguiding his son. Meanwhile, the Akhilesh faction has also installed a plaque proclaiming him as the party's national president. The brand new nameplate has popped up at the SP's Lucknow office, right below an older one. The family drama began when Akhilesh was announced as the national president of SP at a national convention convened by party MP Ram Gopal Yadav on January 1st. At the same convention, Mulayam was made the party patron. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, so there you have it. The father was in fact ready to fight against his son if the fight came to that. But at the moment, of course, the symbol and the party name goes to Akhilesh Yadav's camp. However, we've not been able to get a word in from the other side, which is, of course, the Mulayam Singh camp. And in fact, how Shivpal Yadav would also be now reacting to these developments. Remember, it was really a fight against Shivpal Yadav, at least from Akhilesh Yadav's side. And it was a fight against Ram Gopal Yadav from Mulayam's side. Which really had brought the father and son on the battleground in a sense of sorts. But however, today Akhilesh Yadav, a big win definitely for him. And as we can see, of course, party supporters giving out a huge loud cheer across Uttar Pradesh. And this is, of course, relief, in fact, for the party cadres who have been, for weeks now, been told to go and speak to party workers, to speak to voters in different districts and be, in fact, prepared in the possibility of perhaps getting a temporary symbol. And that is, in fact, something that both sides of the Samajwadi Party, whether it was Mulayam Singh or for them at the Akhilesh Singh, were in fact worried about that the party symbol would get frozen and they would in fact have to fight on a temporary symbol. And that would have been a problem, definitely, to try and reach out to the voters in time, considering the fact that elections, of course, starting on the 11th of February, the first phase at least for Uttar Pradesh. The filing of the nominations for the first list, of course, is to happen tomorrow. Meanwhile, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi took a dig at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's decision while addressing his party workers in Rishikesh in Uttarakhand. Rahul said that Prime Minister Modi should show the same promptness of one rank, one pension that he displayed while announcing the demonetization move.
From polling day in Uttarakhand, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi on Monday addressed party workers in Rishikesh. Rahul targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the demonetization decision while accusing the government of hampering the autonomous functioning of the RBI.
पॉलिसी बनाओ तो बंद कमरों में बनाओ, बिना किसी से पूछे बनाओ, 1 मिनट में बनाओ, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। ये दो विचारधाराओं की लड़ाई है।
Rahul Gandhi also criticized the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh, claiming that the right-wing group did not respect and hoist the national flag at its Nagpur headquarters for 52 years after independence.
52 साल के लिए 2002 तक नागपुर में आरएसएस के हेडक्वार्टर में ये झंडा नहीं फहराया था। जब सैल्यूट लगता था स्वतंत्रता दिवस पर सैल्यूट लगता था तो इस झंडे पे सैल्यूट नहीं लगता था, भगवे पे सैल्यूट लगता था।
Referring to the controversy over the calendar issued by the Khadi Udyog, Rahul said Prime Minister Modi removed the image of Mahatma Gandhi, who sacrificed his life for the nation.
यहां सीने में 3 गोली खाई, इस झंडे को यहां फहराने के लिए। उसको नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने परे कर दिया, कहते हैं इनकी कोई जरूरत नहीं है, और नरेंद्र मोदी की फोटो आ गई।
Rahul also claimed the hand symbol of the Congress finds place in every religion while accusing Prime Minister Modi of spreading the cult of fear and threats. Uttarakhand goes to polls on February 15th.
At a time when senior Congress leaders are leaving party, Vice President Rahul Gandhi has asked party cadre to stay united. With camera person Santosh Yadav, Navvikram Singh, Rajya Sabha TV, Rishikesh.
And from Rishikesh, let's head on again to Uttar Pradesh, where, of course, the big story is that Akhilesh Yadav has been given the cycle symbol and the party name as well. And joining us on this development, we've got on the phone line Manmohan Rai, who's a political editor with ETV in Uttar Pradesh. Manmohan ji, thanks so much for speaking with us. How are you viewing this development, especially for the Samajwadi Party now and for the future of Akhilesh Yadav?
It was a surprise when the Election Commission announced that the cycle symbol would go to Akhilesh Yadav. Most people were expecting the Election Commission to freeze the symbol, though it was evident that Akhilesh Yadav enjoyed the support of maximum MLAs and the National Executive Council members. But largely it was expected that the cycle symbol of Samajwadi Party would be freezed. But now the Election Commission has, in its order, declared that Akhilesh Yadav is the rightful president of Samajwadi Party and he has the rights and claim over the cycle symbol. This is a huge victory for Akhilesh Yadav camp, who has been consistently fighting against the old guard of the Samajwadi Party, who used to practice the old style of politics, and many of them were known for rough, tough kind of a politics, groomed by Mulayam Singh Yadav, who for 5 decades ruled the landscape of Uttar Pradesh. But today Akhilesh Yadav has finally emerged out of the shadows of his father, and he is right now the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, also the President of Samajwadi Party. So he controls both the government and the party with the election symbol of bicycle in his hands. His candidates would have the upper hand. He would go to polls on a very aggressive, positive flank, and he is likely to emerge strongly out of this assembly elections, the results for which would come out on April 11th. Akhilesh Yadav today has emerged as a strong leader who controls both the party and the government.
All right. Do you see Mulayam Singh Yadav, how do you see him responding to this development? As of now, we've not got any kind of reaction from him. How do we see him responding to this? Does he take it down, calm, saying that that's okay? I mean, eventually it was his decision to make Akhilesh the CM, so I'm standing by it. Or do we see him creating some problems? Because we do know that Ram Gopal Yadav has hinted at a Mahagathbandhan, and we always have, everybody has kind of anticipated that Akhilesh will, of course, reach out to the Congress in some way.
Yeah, Akhilesh Yadav is in talks, advanced talks with the Congress, and an alliance is likely to be announced in the next 48 hours. It is a certainty that the Congress would go with Akhilesh Yadav now that Akhilesh Yadav also has the bicycle symbol of the Samajwadi Party. They would be even more keen to tie up with Akhilesh Yadav. An alliance is a certainty. I think the modalities would be announced within the next 48 hours, if not sooner. And Akhilesh Yadav, together with Congress and probably Rashtriya Lok Dal of Ajit Singh, would like to give a secular alternative so that all the minority votes, backward votes come to them, and they have a winning combination with them. Mulayam Singh Yadav is right now incommunicado, and he is inside his bungalow. He has not responded to the developments. Obviously, it is a big blow to him. He would have never imagined that he will lose the government and also his party. He founded the party 25 years back. And the Samajwadi Party formed the government in Uttar Pradesh 3 times. It was also a partner in the central government on many occasions. But today he has lost control of also the government and also the party. So it is obviously, he stands isolated, and it is a big blow to Shivpal Yadav, Amar Singh and Mulayam Singh Yadav camp.
Absolutely. We'll leave it there for now. Manmohan Raiji, thanks so much for joining us for those details coming in from Uttar Pradesh. Waiting, of course, for a word on from either one of those party leaders. But meanwhile, cricketer turned politician and BJP turncoat Navjot Singh Sidhu declared himself a born congressman on Monday after formally joining the Congress party. He termed his entry into the Congress as a ghar vapsi of sorts. Sidhu launched a scathing attack on the SED BJP government in Punjab for the state's notorious drug problem. Meanwhile, Punjab Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal slammed Sidhu and called him a migratory bird.
With couplets and one-liners, Navjot Singh Sidhu announcing his decision to join the Congress on Monday. It's been a guessing game with the former cricketer ever since he left the BJP. After months of talks with Arvind Kejriwal's AAP, Sidhu turned to Congress just weeks before the Punjab's elections were announced. Sidhu finally said he's willing to work with the Congress's chief ministerial candidate Amrinder Singh.
अगर 2 देशों के रिश्ते सुधर सकते हैं टेबल के ऊपर, तो हमारे नहीं सुधर सकते क्या? अगर लालू जी नीतीश जी के साथ इकट्ठे हो सकते हैं, तो क्या यार हम नहीं हो सकते भाई?
Blaming the Akali Dal BJP government for the state of affairs in Punjab, Sidhu asserted the drug menace in the state will be his electoral focus.
ये क्यों बिकता है सिर्फ पंजाब में? क्योंकि पंजाब में पॉलिटिशियन, पुलिस जो कुटपुतली बना दी गई है, और ड्रग पेडलर इनका नेक्सस है.
Punjab Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal hit back at the newly inducted Congress member on his criticism of the Shiromani Akali Dal-led Punjab government and alleged that some people indulge in profitable deals for nefarious gains.
वो कांग्रेस के हाथ में बिक चुके हैं. उन्हें और कांग्रेस समझती है कि अकाली दल पार्टी है या बीजेपी मिलके हमारे कहीं पांव नहीं लगते, इसलिए इनके खिलाफ झूठे इल्जाम लगाओ. कौन नशा कौन करते थे? ये बदनाम पंजाब को बदनाम करते.
Sidhu joined the Congress after several rounds of meetings with Rahul Gandhi. As one of the party's star campaigners, he is expected to address a series of rallies. Sidhu resigned from Rajya Sabha and quit BJP, after which his wife Navjot Kaur joined Congress. He was reportedly upset with the BJP during the 2014 Lok Sabha polls after the party replaced him with Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley for the Amritsar seat. Jaitley lost the election to Punjab Congress chief Amrinder Singh. After resigning from the BJP, Sidhu launched a new front named Awazi Punjab, but the founders couldn't stay together for long. In fact, Aam Aadmi Party also negotiated with him to have him on its side. It remains to be seen whether Sidhu's couplets and one-liners could also fetch electoral dividends for the Congress party. Reporting from Delhi, with camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
On to more national news, and the Supreme Court on Monday allowed a Mumbai-based woman who is 24 weeks pregnant to undergo an abortion as her fetus is suffering from a life-threatening condition. The apex court allowed the abortion after taking into consideration the hospital report, which suggested that the fetus was without a skull and would not be able to survive without it. The court also directed the team of doctors performing the termination of pregnancy to maintain a complete record of the procedure. The Supreme Court directive comes after the woman had approached it seeking permission to terminate her pregnancy.
In this case, it has been found that the child was medically, there was something wrong with it, that it was underdeveloped. So the SC has in its wisdom allowed her to abort the fetus. I think it's a good thing because it would have been perhaps unfair to the girl, she's only 22 or 23, and also perhaps unfair to the child.
Meanwhile, the apex court also sought the responses of the government and TRAI on a plea seeking the framing of privacy policy to regulate commercial exploitation of private communication through social networking sites like WhatsApp and Facebook. A bench comprising Chief Justice J.S. Khehar and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud also issued notices to WhatsApp and Facebook and sought their responses within 2 weeks. The bench sought the assistance of Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi in hearing the plea, which alleged that the social networking sites compromise privacy of interpersonal communication of over 150 million people in the country. With that, a quick break here, but more news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to India's World.
I think through this white paper, China is conveying that it wants to change its policy towards India.
It's a bit of a smokescreen. China wants to project itself as a country with peaceful intentions.
If you see the Chinese press, India, together with the United States, does present for them a very strategic challenge.
Watch experts debate on China's white paper on Asia Pacific and India in India's World on Rajya Sabha Television.
Welcome back. Let's get to the latest news that's coming in on GST. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, in fact, asserted on Monday that a consensus between the state and centre has been reached on dual control of the goods and services tax. However, the 1st of April deadline for GST has been ruled out and has been deferred to the 1st of July. The 9th GST Council meeting headed by the Finance Minister succeeded to break the logjam on the administration of GST. The entire taxation base will be shared between the assessment machinery of centre and the states. All assessors with GST turnover of 1.5 crore rupees or less, 90% of them will be assessed by states and 10% by the administrative machinery of the centre. GST turnover of above 1.5 crore rupees will be assessed by the ratio of 50-50 by states and the centre.
There was a broad view that the 1st of July appears to be more realistic, since it's a transactional tax. It can be introduced at any time. Also, they felt that the industry and trade will have to be given some adequate notice.
The Reserve Bank of India has today raised the withdrawal limit to 10,000 rupees per day from 4,500 rupees per day. The RBI said that the change will be operative within the existing overall limit of 24,000 rupees per week. The limit of withdrawal from current accounts was also raised from 50,000 rupees per week to 1 lakh rupees per week, which the RBI said also extended to cash credit and overdraft accounts. The RBI released a notification on its official website saying that there have no further changes been made to any other conditions, and the relaxations provided on the 28th of November 2016 were to continue. Wholesale inflation breached a 3-month declining trend and rose to 3.39% in December from 3.15% in November on the back of rising prices of manufactured items, even as food articles turned cheaper. Fuel and power inflation also rose sharply to 8.65% in December from 7.07% in November. Manufactured products inflation also rose to 3.67% from 3.20%. However, food articles inflation for the month was in the negative, indicating a 0.7% fall in food prices in December as compared to 1.54% rise in the previous month. With that, let's get you more updates from across the country in Nationwide. 3 militants were killed in an overnight encounter with security forces in Anantnag district this morning. The encounter broke out last evening between militants and security forces in Pahalgam area, acting on a specific intelligence input about the presence of an unspecified number of militants. The forces conducted a search operation when the militants fired at them. A huge cache of arms and ammunition were also recovered, including 3 AK-47 rifles. US and India are making progress over the commercial and financing aspects of their civil nuclear agreement. The Obama administration is hopeful that a deal for a nuclear power plant in India could be announced by the end of this year. Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia, Nisha Desai-Biswal, said that the first and foremost is for the commercial partners for Westinghouse to be able to achieve the package that is satisfactory to both the US and the Indian government. The Supreme Court today asked the centre to file a fresh status report on the Special Investigation Team probe into the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. A bench of Justice Deepak Mishra and Justice R. Bhanumati sought the report as petitioner S. Gurlat Singh Kahlon told the court that the SIT has utterly failed in carrying out the problem. The court has in fact adjourned the matter for next hearing on the 20th of February. The Jammu and Kashmir Assembly today witnessed an uproar over the opposition National Conference demanding a clarification from the state government over the issue of compensation to the victims of the 2016 Valley unrest. The opposition members, led by National Conference MLA Ali Mohammed Sagar, demanded that the government must make it clear whether it will grant a compensation of 5 lakh rupees each. International news: and China sent out a stern message to the United States regarding the One China policy, saying that it was non-negotiable and that any attempt to reconsider the issue could harm the ties between the two countries. US President-elect Donald Trump on Friday had again said and angered Beijing, saying that the policy was up for negotiations.
A day after telling the US that One China policy was non-negotiable, China reiterated its stance, saying the policy principles were the political foundation of bilateral ties and any attempt to reconsider the issue could harm them. Sending out a warning, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said Taiwan may be sacrificed if US President-elect Donald Trump continued to provoke Beijing.
如果试图破坏一个中国原则，或者幻想将此作为交易筹码，那么必将遭到中国政府和人民以至于国际社会的普遍的坚决的反对，最后呢，只能是搬起石头砸自己的脚。
China's strong reaction comes after Donald Trump on Friday said that One China policy was up for negotiation. This is the second time in a month that Beijing has reacted angrily after Trump broke decades of precedent by taking a congratulatory telephone call from Taiwanese president. Meanwhile, Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen, who is in San Francisco for a business meeting, faced protest outside her hotel. China fears that Taiwan is seeking formal independence from the mainland.
I come here to protest against Tsai Ing-wen. She wants to separate the Taiwan from China, and we're very much against it. We think that China should be united as one country, not as two.
The United States has switched diplomatic recognition from Taipei to Beijing in 1979. Since then, it has acknowledged the Chinese position that there is only one China and that Taiwan is part of it. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And here are more international news updates in Global Buzz. Fears of the consequences of a hard Brexit have sent the pound to a fresh 31-year low against the dollar, excluding last October's flash crash. The pound hit new lows after reports said that the Prime Minister Theresa May will on Tuesday signal plans to quit the EU's single market to regain control of Britain's borders. A Turkish cargo jet crashed near Kyrgyzstan's Manas airport today, killing at least 37 people. Most of them are residents of the village, which was struck by the Boeing 747 as it tried to land in dense fog. According to airport administration, the plane was supposed to make a stopover at Manas, near the capital city of Bishkek, on its way from Hong Kong to Istanbul. The plane plowed for a few hundred meters through the village, damaging some 15 buildings. Two bombs exploded early morning on Monday at Nigeria's Northeastern University of Maiduguri. A professor at the university and a child has been killed in the incident, and 17 others reportedly wounded. According to the state emergency agency, two suicide bombers blew themselves up at different gates of the university. No group has claimed responsibility for the attacks, but it bore the hallmarks of the Boko Haram. 26 people, including prime accused and Awami League leader Noor Hussain and dismissed Rapid Action Battalion officers, have been awarded death penalties in the sensational 7 murder case. Narayanganj Sessions Judge pronounced the sentence today. The victims, including Awami League leader Nazrul Islam, were abducted and killed in April 2014. The murder of 7 high-profile people had caused a national outrage in Bangladesh. A tornado hit through Texas in the U.S., damaging large areas of the north. U.S. weather services have also issued thunderstorm and flash flood warnings. Power lines have been knocked down in the Clifton area, even though relief workers are working to remove debris from the roads. No injuries have been reported so far. And finally, let's get you all the latest from the world of sports in SportsBeat. Men's world number 1 Andy Murray reached the second round of the Australian Open after beating Ukrainian Ilya Marchenko in straight sets in the opening round. 3-time Grand Slam champion Murray won 7-5, 7-6, 6-2 and next plays Russian qualifier Andrei Rublev. Roger Federer also advanced to the second round with a 7-5, 3-6, 6-2, 6-2 victory over American Jürgen Melzer. In the women's singles, Venus Williams eased to the second round with a straight sets victory over Ukrainian Katerina Kozlova. However, fourth-seeded Simona Halep crashed out after losing to Shelby Rogers of the United States 3-6, 1-6. Sevilla ended Real Madrid's 40-match unbeaten run with a 2-1 victory over the La Liga leaders. Cristiano Ronaldo put Madrid ahead, but Sevilla stunned Los Blancos with 2 late goals. The win put Sevilla in the second place, 1 point ahead of Barcelona. Madrid, meanwhile, stay at the top with 1 point lead and a game in hand. And that's all we have for you on the news tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.